I've had people describe the results they experienced after cutting carbs as life-changing. Their blood sugar is under control, they've gotten off medications, and the weight loss success stories, well, they seemingly are everywhere. A low-carb diet is truly a diet where if you put the effort in, the results come. But anytime we change our eating routine, we open the door to mistakes that can knock us off course. In this video, I share 4 things to avoid when you start a low-carb diet. Snacking is part of our culture, and it is driven by an industry that measures its profits in the billions. So it doesn't surprise me that one of the most common questions I get from people who are starting a low-carb diet is, what can I have for a snack? While it's best to limit the number of times you eat in a day, there's nothing wrong with reaching for a good low-carb snack when we are truly hungry. However, that's the key part. We need to be truly hungry. Many of us have lost the ability to separate true physical hunger from false mental hunger that makes us crave a treat. Now, following a low-carb diet will help you widen that gap between true and false hunger, but it won't happen if you're eating sweetened keto snacks. Even though these treats replace sugar with non-caloric sweeteners, the effect they have on you is that they keep your sweet tooth alive. And that makes it very easy to fall off the low-carb wagon when life throws you a challenge. The fix is to fill up with hearty, low-carb, high-fat meals at mealtime and choose savory snacks like meat and cheese instead of sweetened treats. And I mentioned this in my video on low-carb snacks that actually stop cravings. The next thing to avoid when you go low-carb is what I'll call too much too soon. There's no doubt that low-carb and keto diets are successful. So when you're ready to lose weight, your brain might say, go for it, but your body fights back when faced with a dramatic change. When you are getting started, going low-carb doesn't mean going no-carb. In fact, if you are coming from a typical cereal, sandwich, pasta-style, high-carb lifestyle, just reducing the number of grams of carbohydrates you eat in a day by half will likely get your weight loss started. And by approaching a low-carb diet in this way, you also give your body time to get used to processing the new foods that it will have available for fuel. So the fix for too much too soon is to reduce your carbohydrate intake so that carbs make up 25% of your daily calories. The easiest way to do that is to make non-starchy vegetables your main carbohydrate choice. These vegetables are naturally low in calories and carbs, but high in hunger-satisfying volume and fiber. If you'd like a guide to get these foods into your low-carb diet, you can download my free 0123 strategy, which is a great foundation to jumpstart your healthy diet. The next thing to avoid when you switch to a low-carb diet is exercise, which might sound shocking or at least like a really bad idea. However, the reality is that when you cut carbs out of your diet, you cut a major energy source for your body. The result will be a few days of carbohydrate withdrawal, which will leave you feeling tired. If you boost your exercise level at the same time that you are reducing your carb intake, you'll be pushing your body to a point where it pushes back. The fix is to work with your body as it makes this transition. Exercise is a wonderful thing and something that naturally becomes easier and more desirable as you lose weight, but give your body time to get there. You can do that by maintaining but not increasing your current exercise time and intensity as you reduce the carbs you consume. And at the start, don't be afraid to temporarily avoid exercise or back down your current level. With no carbs to run on, your body will become more efficient at burning fat for fuel, and when that happens, you will feel comfortable adding exercise to accelerate your results. Another pitfall to avoid is taking the edge off. Sugar withdrawal and carbohydrate withdrawal are real things, and they can be really uncomfortable to experience. Fortunately, the fatigue, cravings, and brain fog that define withdrawal typically diminish within a few days, but only if you stick to your guns. The cruel reality is that a bowl of ice cream or a candy bar can take away withdrawal symptoms in the blink of an eye. However, that 3-minute treat also takes away your progress. When you give in and eat a high-carb food, you flood your body with easily accessible energy. Your body likes easy, so it puts the challenging task of creating fat-burning enzymes and pathways on hold, which resets your transition to becoming a better fat burner back to square one. The fix is a simple one. Don't stop before the magic happens. This transition from high carb to low carb can be tough, but there is a world of freedom on the other side of that transition. Have you successfully made the switch from a high carb to a low carb lifestyle? If so, please share your story in the comments. How did you feel when you first cut carbs, and how do you feel now? The chances are that someone will relate to your experience, and that will provide hope for those who have been struggling. Thanks so much for watching. If you need help getting started, I encourage you to use my 0123 strategy as a guide. Also, please join my channel by clicking the subscribe button before you go.